Hey guys, welcome back. This is step 3 and 4 to selling somebody's house as a realtor. Now, after you've run your current market analysis, a lot of times people are going to tell you that you need to run a listing package. Now, I would agree with this. A listing package is basically you're going to go to your client and tell them why you're the best person to sell their house. You're going to go over everything that you're going to do for your client to sell their house. Basically, you're going to take yourself and become a car salesman and sell yourself on why you're the best person to sell their house. Now, this step has a lot of videos already, and it would be redundant for me to make another video on how to run a listing package and the best things to say. And therefore, I'm going to just go ahead and drop some links in the description on everything or on some of the listing agreement, some of the listing packages that other people have ran and how to necessarily do that. But from here on out, we're going to talk like you've already sold your clients and they're already ready to work with you. So at this point, you're going to want to get a listing agreement together. So in this listing agreement, you're going to be able to find it on, if you're a realtor, you can find it on the MLS. You're going to go to FlexNet, and there you'll have a list of random forms. And these random forms are going to have everything you need, all the paperwork you'll ever need for selling a house. And one of those things is the listing agreement. So you're going to be able to fill out the listing agreement. And basically what this is it's going to define the relationship between you and the client. It's going to talk about everything you need, guys. It's going to talk about, how much you're going to sell the house for, when it's going to go on the MLS, everything like that. How you're going to, are you going to have a lockbox on the house? Are you going to have a sign on the house? It's even going to go over things like how much the house is going to go on the MLS for, and if the seller decides to sell the house for necessarily more than you think the house is worth, maybe $100,000 more than your CMA came in at, then you're going to be able to say, all right, that's fine. I'll put it on the MLS for this much. But after 2 weeks or after a certain amount of time, if there's no interest, then you're going to have to lower the price. And these are all contingencies that are going to be involved in the listing agreement. But guys, let me tell you, none of this matters if you don't go over the realtor's duties originally. And so basically in the broker's duties of the listing agreement, it's legally required that you talk about you just read off this list of everything that you're going to do as the broker, that you're legally required to do as the broker and for the client, as the realtor. So this is also going to be the necessary and most important thing that's going to need to happen in the listing agreement. But like I said, you're also going to be able to put a lot of the things that define the relationship within the listing agreement. Now, after you get the listing agreement signed, it's like I said, it's going to cover everything, and you can go on the random forms and look at it, or you can even go online and look at example listing agreements, which will also be in the link in the description below. So you can just go through it, read through it, see what it says. But after you did that, you're going to need to go ahead and get the property description together. And what the property description is the property disclosure. And what the property disclosure is basically going to have is it's going to have everything that the seller, your client, needs to disclose about the property. And this is everything, guys. This is is there a fireplace? Was the roof leaking, and then did it get fixed? It's going to need to cover, is there lead-based paint in the house? It's basically the property disclosure is going to disclose all the information about the property that the seller needs to fill out. And that step is going to be extremely important because you put a lot of that information into the MLS, the multiple listing service as a realtor, so that when people look at the property, they know all this information is disclosed legally. So after you do all those things, you're going to need to prep the house for sale. And this is step 4. So when you prep the house for sale, you're going to need to kind of tell the people, all right, well, at this point, we need to kind of maybe start to clear out the house a little bit for sale. You need to maybe get rid of the clutter of the house. You need to, if the carpet has a bunch of stains in it, this is an option, but maybe tear the carpet out and get new carpet. But that's also questionable because sometimes the people will leave the carpet, not pay for it, and therefore the new people can, when the buyers come in, they can put in their own carpet that they want. But at the same time, the benefits of putting a new carpet in is it looks a lot nicer when you're having open houses and things like that, and therefore can sometimes raise the value of the price of the house. So within these next 2 steps, it's going to be extremely important that you do get the listing agreement signed, that you do get the property disclosure done, and that you kind of clear the house out and prep it for sale. All 3 of these steps are necessary, but these steps are going to be what brings the house the next step closer towards selling it.